to the NXT Podcast, your home for weekly NXT reviews and insight.
The beautiful part of NXT is that when one dream ends, another dream begins.
Find all of your NXT news, recaps, and analysis right here. So with that being said, we only have one question for you.
Are you ready?
We thought so. Let's get the show started right now.
Hey everybody, welcome to your NXT review here on the WWE Podcast. And yeah, it's last night was a crazy episode, and we're going to get all into what happened last night. And I would say definitely last night's episode was solid. It was definitely solid. There were some things that I have big issues with, and we're going to talk about that in a second. And I know I'm getting right into here we go, but here we go. Couple things I just want to talk about, some shopkeeping stuff. Remember, if you're listening to us on Apple Podcast, there is an ad-free version. All you got to do is subscribe. Feel free to subscribe for the ad-free version. You don't just get the NXT review, which is, why you're here listening to me. But you also get the Raw review by Matt. You get the SmackDown review by Amanda. You get the weekend review by Matt and the mailbag by Matt. I really want to be sure. Excuse me. I really want to be sure I send a mailbag, and because I want Matt to talk about NXT just one time, because I know that he generally tends to not talk about NXT, but at some point I want him to talk about it in the mailbag. Anyway, so we've got that option. We also have the Patreon at WWE Podcast on Patreon. We have different tier levels you can check out which what. Also ad-free version. Definitely, check those out. Also, listen, if you've got friends that aren't watching NXT, ask them what they're doing. NXT has the most action packed into the 2 hours, as far as I can tell. I'm going to be honest. The other night I went to it was Thursday. I went to an AEW event. It was actually the taping for Collision, and it's not even close. Like, to me, NXT. Now, granted, I've never been to an NXT event. I do plan on going at some point. Never been there in person, but I have to tell you, to me, NXT blows away AEW. A bunch of friends of mine were going. I figured, what the heck, I'll tag along. It was up in Albany, which is about 45 minutes north of where I live. And Albany, New York. And it was okay. It was okay. To me, NXT is the only show right now, the only wrestling show on network television. They have 2 hours. 2 hours. That's it. There's no overtime. Granted, I think that USA is not doing too much overtime either with either Raw or SmackDown. But there's no overtime. 2 hours, and that's it. And they got to be done at 10 o'clock because, for me, the CW, like, their news starts at 10 p.m. And if the NXT show isn't over, too bad. Too bad, so sad. You ever hear that phrase? Too bad, so sad. We're moving on anyway. So, anyway, get your friends. Hey, listen, give it a try. Try it for 1 week. See what you think. I mean, let me tell you, the first time to watch it, the night that they were in Philadelphia at the ECW arena, that would have been a good night to tell people to watch it for the first time. But still, get them to watch it. And then, a little bit of a self-promotion here. Then after they watch it, they can come listen to me, and I'll tell them what I think, and they can say whether they agree with me or not. The other day, I was listening to Matt's, it was the mailbag, I think, and he was talking about all of the places that, all of the countries that listen to our shows, and it's amazing to me. Like, there are people that can hear the show in Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Scotland, of course. What's up, Scotland? And of course, Canada as well. And like, it amazes me that, somebody potentially could be listening to the show right now in a country literally all the way around the world. I did some checking the other day, and from where I am, actually from anywhere in the continental United States, if you dug a hole straight through across the world, you'd end up someplace in the Indian Ocean. So the whole like digging to China thing, that's actually not a thing. Google told me this, so it must be true. Anyway, so last night we had a lot of great things happening on NXT. We're going to go through everything. I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. We had you know what? Let me just go through, let you know some things, let you know my thoughts. I have to say first, I mean, I can go into the whole women's division thing. I'm not going to. You're getting sick of me hearing it. I'm getting sick of saying it. Obviously, the women's division in NXT is by far the best women's division in all of professional wrestling. Granted, I don't watch Japan and all that stuff, but based on the small sample size in my head and that my eyes have seen, the NXT women's division blows it away. Obviously, I think that, and I've been saying that, but the tag team division, and SmackDown has stepped it up as far as the tag team division goes. SmackDown has taken their tag team division. Like, the Motor City Machine Guns coming into SmackDown just elevated everybody else. Everybody else now is a million times better because the Motor City Machine Guns are in SmackDown. That was a great move for SmackDown. I'm glad that they did it for them. But obviously, we're talking about the Raw tag team division. Not nearly as much. I mean, they have champions that literally have defended the titles one time in 6 months. And the two other times they actually fought in a tag team match, they lost both times. Think about this. They have the Raw tag team champions. I know they're not called. They're called the World Tag Team Champions. Finn Balor and JD McDonough. They have defended the titles once and won. They have had 2 matches that were non-title matches against Jey Uso and another partner both times, and both times they lost those matches. And if they were title matches, they would have lost the titles. What are they doing? And then let's go to NXT. Their tag team division. Number one, first we have Fraxium. Now, I'm going to talk about Fraxium in a second. For Nathan Frazier and Axiom. They're the tag team champions. When they're together, they're amazing. They have all these, I think it's 4 or 5 or 6 other tag teams. Most of them, I wouldn't be able to pick them out of a crowd of 2. Maybe 3. I don't know. But and then they have them all fighting over and over and over again, just in a big group of guys, just beating the holy heck out of each other. And I don't know who's beating up who. I don't know what's going on. And then on top of that, they have the tag team champions fighting these Iron Survivor Challenge qualifying matches. So they're not even thinking about the tag team titles right now. They're holding them. And they see on the side that there's all this infighting going on with all the tag teams. But they're not actually doing anything with the tag team titles. I don't understand what they're doing. If you understand what they're doing with these tag team titles, please let me know. Are they fracturing Fraxium? That's a tongue twister, right? Are they fracturing Fraxium? Are they eventually going to be going their separate ways? And then if they do, who are they going to put the titles on? The only group that I know of all of those tag teams are Hank and Tank, and that's only because their names rhyme. That's it. I don't understand what they're doing. All right, let's go back to the show. So, we had the NXT episode coming to you on November 19th, 2024 from the Performance Center in Winter Park, Florida. Again, your commentators, as always, are Vic Joseph and Booker T, and your ring announcer is Mike Rome. So, The first match we have is the Iron Man qualifying match between Nathan Frazier. My God, my brain is not functioning. Anyway, Nathan Frazier wins the first Iron Survivor Challenge qualifying match. And afterwards, and then I was like I just talked about. Afterwards, as the match is going on, people are slowly getting into the ring. It was Eddie Thorpe. Again, I don't Eddie Thorpe. Is he Native American? Is he not Native American? Or what are they called? Indigenous people, Native American. I don't know. Is he not? I don't know. He comes to the ring, but then he doesn't really. I don't know. Anyway, eventually, Eddie Thorpe gets distracted by all the mayhem, all the tag teams, all around the ring, beating the holy heck out of each other, as I said before, and Nathan Frazier ends up getting the pinfall. So Nathan Frazier is actually in the Iron Survivor Challenge, so that's an interesting little tidbit of information. He uses the Phoenix Splash to pick up the victory, and then just carnage. It doesn't make sense. Please help it make sense to me. And if I'm the only one, let me know, please, because it doesn't. Again, you basically have all your tag teams, all of them, aside from the champions, outside the ring, just beating up each other. For what? What are we doing? What is going to be going on? I know Ava said that we're doing this, this thing, something, but we haven't decided what that is. So, does anybody even care? Does anybody care? Can anybody hear me? I don't know. So anyway, after that match, we've got Andre Chase, who does a promo, and he says this: "When I started Chase U, I didn't want to teach. I wanted to create a place. I didn't just want to teach. I wanted to create a place where people could believe in something. A place where you felt like you belonged. And along the way, I was lucky enough to find people who believed in me as much as I believed in this. When you put everything into something, it becomes who you are. I understand the risk I am taking tonight." So for those, just to stop for a second, for those of you that don't know, and I'm sure by this point you do, Andre Chase went against Ridge Holland to become the number one, to see who the number one contender would be for Trick Williams at Deadline. With a caveat that if Andre Chase lost, then Chase U would be disbanded, which I don't really understand why. Because Andre Chase was going to get the match anyway, regardless of whether or not he put the Chase U on the line. But anyway, this all started with just Thea and I, and now look what it's become. Chase University created an MVP. Chase University saw Thea's first victory. Chase University sold out a calendar twice due to the consequences of my own actions, but still we sold out twice. Chase University saw Riley Osborne break out. Chase University saw Thea Hale win a battle royal, getting her opportunity at the Women's Championship, which she lost, by the way. And Chase University won Tag Team Gold. And by the way, they won Tag Team Gold twice from what I remember. The first time was without Ridge Holland. It was with Duke and Andre Chase. And the second time was Andre Chase and Ridge Holland. But I digress. Anyway. The lessons that we've shared here, the moments that we've made, they're a part of us now. And they are going nowhere, because I'll be damned if I'm going to allow anyone or anything take away my family. Tonight, I right all of Ridge's wrongs. Tonight, I'll show the world that Chase University is a staple in the NXT universe, and tonight I become the number one contender. So that's what Andre Chase said before the match. After that, Kalani Jordan tells Mr. Stone and Stevie Turner that she wants to battle Julia in the Iron Survivor Challenge qualifying match. Good luck, Kalani Jordan. And this is. There was a match tonight where I was apprehensive about who I wanted to win. That match, Kalani Jordan versus Julia, I'm very also apprehensive on who I'd like to win. I like both of them a lot. I think Julie is due. I think she's due a lot, actually. Then there was a promo from Julie explaining about where she came from, what she's doing now, coming to America 2 months ago, and how she's now going to become a WWE superstar. So that was a fun little promo. And then I love when they call her the Beautiful Madness, which I think is a great nickname. The Beautiful Madness. Anyway, so next week Julia will be going against Kalani Jordan for the qualifying match for the Iron Survivor Challenge. The second match of the night, which could have been the main event in my mind anyway, was Stephanie Vaquer versus Jada Parker. And this is the other match that I said, this was the match that I was just saying before that, it is a toss-up for me who would win. I love both of them as wrestlers. This was a Iron Survivor Challenge qualifying match, so it sucks because I want them both to be in this match, in the Iron Survivor match, but obviously that can't happen. Only one or the other could, so at the end of the match, Parker drives a knee into the midsection of Vaquer. Parker did a mid kick, gets distracted by Lola Vice. So Lola Vice comes out and distracts Jada Parker. Doesn't really do anything. Has a brick in her hand, which is a throwback to a couple weeks ago when Jada hit her with a brick in that no holds barred, the no DQ match. So Vaquer then super kicks Parker and connects with the total package backbreaker to pick up the victory. So your winner for that match is Stephanie Vaquer, and that was, to me, that was the right call. It's the right call. I think Stephanie definitely should, of the two, weighing both options, I think definitely that Stephanie was the one that should be in the Iron Survivor Challenge. So good call. Then backstage we have Dion Lennox hyping up Brindley Reese ahead of their mixed tag team match. I mean, when I say hyping up, it was like, let's go! I'm like, what is this? What's going on? It's really all it was for 30 seconds, and then that was it. It was weird. Then you got Roxanne Perez. It was a she was on a beach, and it was a social media post that she had done. She wishes all the women the best of luck as they try to follow in her footsteps. They all have the privilege to lose after becoming the Iron Survivor. So Ruka then is on the same beach, randomly on the same beach as Roxanne, and tells her that she'll see her after NXT deadline. And for those of you that don't remember, So Ruka did beat Cora Jade last week to qualify for the Iron Survivor Challenge. Then the third match, we have Tony D'Angelo and Rizzo. Adriana Rizzo was by his side, and he was going against Brooks Jensen with Shawn Spears with him at ringside. A lot of going on, a lot of back and forth. This was a non-title match. This was not for the NXT Championship. Basically, it was a setup match. So at the end of the match, Angelo connect with a spine buster to pick up the victory, and let me tell you, D'Angelo's spine busters are ridiculous. He picks them up, he picks people up and throws them on the mat. I don't understand how that doesn't hurt a little bit. Maybe, I don't know. And after the match, Shawn Spears asked D'Angelo to shake his hand, and Don obliges, and then Jensen delivers a chop block, and Spears and Jensen stand over the falling D'Angelo. So basically, the Don ends up blowing out his knee, kayfabe, blowing out his knee. So the winner was Tony D'Angelo via pinfall, but then he gets injured after the match by Brooks and Spears. Then we got Lexis King backstage, and he talks about the journey of becoming the best version of himself. Slow and steady, he wins the race. And he approaches Yashiki Inamura, and he thanks them for listening to him. Inamura understands where Lexis is coming from, and then You look over to the side, and again, the entire NXT tag team division is beating the holy heck out of each other. I don't get it. Do something. You ever hear the phrase S or get off the pot? And I'm not using the word because this is a PG-13 show, and I just want to be sure that I don't get, I want to keep my clean rating on Apple Podcasts. But you ever hear the term, poop or get off the pot? Like, this is what they need to do. This has been going on long enough. They need to cut it out. They need to move forward. Come up with a plan. Do something. Please move forward with the tag team division one way or the other. And stop having your tag team champions focus on single stuff. Either make them tag team champions or not and move on. Sorry, I'm a little passionate tonight. I had an energy drink before the podcast. So, I'm like, all like, "Ugh." Anyway. Hope that's okay. If it's not, it is what it is. Okay. Next, we have the fourth match, which is Ashanti the Adonis and Carmen Petrovic versus Deion Lennox and Brindley Reese in a mixed tag team match. So, the end of this match, let's see. Both guys are down on a double clothesline, and Petrovic and Reese are both tagged in. Reese has a flurry of clotheslines, and Petrovic fights out of a fireman's carry position. Standing switch exchange, Reese with the O'Connor roll for a 2 count. Adonis tells Reese to kiss him. So Adonis then tells Reese to kiss him. Reese slaps Adonis in the face, and then Petrovic connects with a roundhouse kick to pick up the victory. So the winners of that match are Ashanti the Adonis and Karma Petrovic via pinfall, and then Petrovic pinning Reese. It was a good match. It was okay. The best match, like, to me so far in the matches that I've described, the best match was obviously Stephanie Vaquer and Jada Parker, but that's so far. Then Rich Holland tells Sarah Schreiber, who's the interviewer, that Andre Chase picked the wrong time to gamble his university relationships, and he will be destroyed tonight. Ridge will become the number 1 contender, and Chase U will go away. Then we've got the fifth match, which is Zarya versus Ren Sinclair with Charlie Dempsey from the North Quarter Catch Crew. And this also is a Women's Iron Survivor Challenge match. So, this was a glorified squash match. It went a little longer than a regular squash match. But basically, Zarya beat the crap out of Ren Sinclair. Ren Sinclair had some, she got a little bit, Zarya got a little distracted by Charlie Dempsey at one point. Ren Sinclair got a little bit of offense in, but for the most part, Zarya just killed her, destroyed her, and at the end of the match, she did a spear, reversal and a spear, and then the F5 to get the victory and become a next qualifier for the Iron Survivor Challenge. I have to say, so far, with the people that are in the Iron, so we got Zarya, we have Stephanie Vaquer, and I don't remember who the other one is, but basically, like, this is the women's one is shaping up to be a good match. I don't know. So we've got War Games and then the Iron Survivor Challenge back-to-back weekends. For me, and I know I'm kind of going off the NXT topic for a second, but for me, granted, the storyline doesn't make sense for the women for the War Games match, but the women that are in there are going to throw down and just, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be an amazing match regardless of the storyline or lack of storyline. The men, regardless of who's taking over for the fifth member of the OG Bloodline, to me, that match will be more for the show, and the women's match will be more for the wrestling. Sort of similar to what I'm about to say. As far as the Iron Survivor Challenge, so far, based on the participants, it looks like the women's match could be shaping up to be the better match of the two. Not that the men's match won't be good. It just, to me, the women's match will be better so far. And we'll get to that so far. Then we have Tony D'Angelo telling Ava that he is willing to give Shawn Spears a shot at the NXT North American Championship because of the fact that he took out his knee, and she agrees. And then Eddie Thorpe comes in and said is livid that Ava won't reverse the decision for the Iron Survivor Challenge because of all of the tag teams that got in the way of the match. And he goes off like a pouty little brat. Basically, that's how it was. It was weird. The whole thing was kind of weird. So you got a segment with Fatal Influence, which I love, by the way. Like I could Jasmine Nix I can do without, but JC Jane and Fallon Henley are freaking awesome. Like just the way they not even the way they wrestle. The way they wrestle is great, but their talking on the mic is great, is wonderful, and this was a really cool segment, and I love the way it ended, and I'll tell you what it is. So basically, JC Jane says, by now everyone knows that the NXT has the strongest women division in all of wrestling. As I said. Anyway. But the three women who knew this before anyone else are the same women that are standing in the ring. Fatal Influence has always been ahead of the curve. So if this was going to be the strongest women's division in the world, we were going to make damn sure of that. We were the only ones sitting on top of it. And then Fallon Henley says, and now you get, how do you stay on top? You hold one of these, and she holds up the NXT North American title, women's title, I guess technically. And you know what? Everyone has been talking about Deadline, the Iron Survivor Challenge, when they should be talking about what I did last week. So Jasmine Nix says, finally shutting up Kalani Jordan and proving our point once and for all. Fatal Influence is above every athlete, no matter how good they are. And then Fallon Henley says, so now I can sit here looking pretty with my beautiful title because I have no one else to worry about. Or I could be a fighting champion, so how about an open challenge, right? Settle down, of course. It won't be tonight. It'll be next week because, let's be honest, they need time to find an opponent for me. And then Lash Legend comes out with, actually, I think both of Metaphor, Jack Hardy, Jackson, and Lash Legend came out. And Lash says, hold up, wait a minute. If there's going to be an open challenge next week, best believe the Metal Girls are going to get a piece of that. And then Nikita Lyons comes out. No, I don't think so, Lash. You had your shot at Crown Jewel. Now get back in the line. And Fallon, I'll be seeing you next week. And in case you don't know, you're talking about Lash and Jakarta got the tag team title match at Crown Jewel, which they lost. So then a whole bunch of the women's division wrestlers get into a brawl. And while that's all going on outside, Nikita Lyons and Adriana Rizzo comes out to beat up Nikita Lyons because they have a thing going on, and then Lash Legend, and then the Fatal Influence girls minus Fallon Henley, who's in the ring by herself. And while she's in the ring by herself, Tatum Paxley comes in and drops Henley with her modified rolling Death Valley driver. And Paxley poses with the NXT Women's North American Championship. Come to find out later that the open challenge was accepted by Tatum Paxley because she's the one that got to Fallon Henley and dropped her. That's actually how they explained it on the broadcast, which is weird. So because Tatum Paxley got in and dropped Fallon Henley in the middle of the ring while everybody else was beating each other up, she apparently is the open challenge winner. Or the one that gets the open challenge. Which, by the way, I'm all for. Tatum Paxley and Fallon Henley, can't wait. It's going to be a great match. I love, for those of you that have regular listeners, I love Tatum Paxley. And I can't wait to see the two of them go. And to me, what endeared me to Fallon Henley was when she, earlier this year, I don't know if anybody remembers, She took Tiffany Stratton and made her work on a horse farm, and ever since then I've been a big, huge Fallon Henley fan. Which let me talk about Tiffany Stratton for an aside. To me, Tiffany Stratton is the quintessential NXT wrestler to succeed quickly. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. A year ago last year, she was in NXT. In January, they put her in the Royal Rumble. Then, in February, she was already in the Elimination Chamber, one of 6. And although she wasn't in WrestleMania, then she eventually becomes the Money in the Bank winner. And now now she's in the women's world. To me, number one, I think, and I know I'm going off on a tangent, and I don't care. This is NXT related because this is how someone in NXT can take the ball and just run with it, and she has. And kudos to her. To me, I've been a Tiffany Stratton fan for 2 years, long before she was Miss Money in the Bank and this, that, and the other thing. As a matter of fact, I remember my friend. After the Elimination Chamber, and had Tiffany Stratton in her debut in the Elimination Chamber, he texts me after the Elimination Chamber event and says, "Your girl is a star." That's it. It's the first time I don't know, it's the first time he ever saw her, but it's one of the first times he ever saw her. And anyway, I know I'm getting off on a tangent. You know what? Matt gets off on tangents all the time. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Moving on, please. Thank you. I think I already talked about this. Oh, yes. So then we have an Ethan Page vignette where he talks about him becoming the number one contender with the Iron Survivor Challenge, and he's planning on going into the Iron Survivor Challenge, and that he's going to win and then take on whoever the NXT champion is, because you can't say it's going to be Trick Williams after Deadline, because technically, he has to go against Ridge Holland first. So you have to go, whoever is the champion after Deadline, blah, blah, blah. Then we have Axiom and Nathan Frazier, and Axiom is like, well, he's not going to win next week. Again, in the qualifying match. And Nathan Frazier's like, well, why do you say that? And Axiom says, because he's going against me, and I'm going to beat him. So that'll be a good match. It'll be different for Ethan Page. Ethan Page is used to going against these big dudes. So that'll be an interesting match for sure next week. So Ethan Page versus Axiom in the Iron Survivor qualifying match. Then we have the last match of the night. This was okay. Let me set the table. We have Ridge Holland again versus Andre Chase with Chase University in a number one contender match. And that if Andre Chase loses, Chase University must disband. And during the match, Trick Williams was on commentary. This match was awesome. It was back and forth. There was a "This is awesome" chant during the match, and let me tell you, it was well deserved. Well deserved. "This is awesome" chant. Again, and I watched this broadcast on the CW app, and they don't block out the holy S chants. So if that annoys you, watch NXT on the CW app. It's a little bit of a different experience, a better experience. So at the end of the match, towards the end of the match, Ridge Holland hits the Redeemer DDT, and basically Chase is going to lose, and the referee counts 1, 2, and then Duke Hudson and Riley Osborne come out and pull the ref out of the ring. Now, picture this. If you haven't seen it before, picture this. Counts 1, 2, and then Duke Hudson comes and rips the referee out of the ring, and the ref lands on the floor. Now, last I checked, in all other wrestling matches I've seen, ever, unless it was a no DQ match, that was a disqualification. And Andre Chase loses. This was never billed as a no DQ match, although there was some itchy, spots that could have been no DQ, but it wasn't. But the referee never disqualified Andre Chase when he was ripped out of the ring by Duke Hudson. Stick to your rules, right? I know Matt talks about the SmackDown and Raw split and how they don't stick to the rules. Either stick to the rules or don't stick to the rules. Duke Hudson pulled the referee out of the ring. That's a disqualification. Andre Chase loses. And Chase University is disbanded and Ridge Holland's no more contender. That's where it should have ended. But it didn't. But it didn't matter. So then Duke and Riley come in and start fighting against Ridge Holland. Ridge Holland fights with Duke outside the ring, pushes Duke through a wall. Riley Osborne so Thea Hale is outside with Ridge, next to Ridge, and Riley Osborne jumps over the ring, over the ropes, and lands on both of them, and Thea Hale gets knocked out by Riley Osborne, which I don't know if it's gonna come up back up later, but for now, that's an interesting little caveat to think about for the future. So during the match beforehand, Ridge Holland has ripped up the mats on the outside of the ring, so it's exposed concrete. So Ridge and Riley Osborne go back into the ring. At one point, Ridge picks Riley Osborne up over his head and chucks him onto the concrete. So now you have Riley Osborne on the concrete. You have Thea Hale next, not that far away from him on the ground. You've got Ridge Holland Duke Hudson that was thrown through the wall. Back in the ring, a little bit more fighting back and forth. It looks like Andre Chase is going to win. But unfortunately, Ridge Holland ends up catching him from a high cross body block and puts him in the Redeemer DDT once again and is pinned. Now, I set all of that up. And also remember, Trick Williams is on commentary. I set all of that up to tell you that there was a piece of cinematography at the very end of this show that was amazing. You had a picture of, in the foreground, Andre Chase leaning against the bottom turnbuckle in despair. Okay? For a little bit beyond that, so like looking out, I'm using my hands to show you, but obviously you can't see. A little further out from there, you've got Riley Osborne on the concrete, writhing in pain. A little further out from there, you've got Thea Hale on the floor, writhing in pain. And a little further out from there, the far end, is Duke Hudson next to a broken wall. So you see all four of them in the same shot, deeper back. And then on the left side of all of them is Trick Williams with his head down, shaking his head like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. That shot was awesome, the way they did it. Chase University is no more. And now we'll have to see what happens with Andre Chase, with Thea Hale, with Riley Osborne, and with Duke Hudson. Even though Chase University is disbanded, hopefully they'll find something for them to do too. Or, I doubt this is going to happen. I don't think they have room for them. Or, Chase University is now disbanded in NXT and goes up to the main roster. Who knows? This was a solid show. It was a really good show. It wasn't the best show. The last match was really good. Ridge Holland is doing great work. Ridge Holland and Ethan Page by far are the best heels going on right now. And the whole Chase University thing was a great little thing to throw in. So now we've got the match at Deadline between Trick Williams and Ridge Holland for the NXT title. Can't wait to see that. Can't wait to see Deadline. The Iron Survivor Challenge matches, the world title match. And between now and then, we got 2 more NXT shows that I'm going to review, and I will review Deadline. Told you that now because Deadline's on Saturday, I'm going to review Deadline on Sunday morning, so you'll have the review for Deadline early Sunday morning. In addition to that day, you'll have the mailbag most likely as well, or the week in review. Sorry. So Sunday, the 8th of December, you'll have the NXT review of Deadline, and then you'll also have, I think, most likely you'll have the weekend review. So look at 2 shows in one day. We are just killing it here at the WWE Podcast. Until next week, have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.